Hello, I am your low elo coach, A1UA, and I would like to guide you on the fundamentals to low and mid elo aim. The first thing I would like to talk about is the elephant in the room. Frickin' crosshair placement. I know you're tired about hearing about it, but to be honest, it's really not that bad. And all it is having your crosshair always ready to take a fight. All I need to do is go into a deathmatch and make sure you always are ready to take a fight, just like I said. And you want to make sure your crosshair's never hanging or in places where if they peek that angle, you wouldn't be getting a headshot or even being on the body. I think this is really important because when I see people scaling up on sites, I do not see their crosshair at head level all the time, or in a place where if the person swinged, you would even be able to get the kill. I will talk about how to fix this later and a method to do that, but now I want to get onto the next part, which is raw aim, or your flicking ability, your adjustments, and your tracking. Now, this is also a very important part and is basically how most low elo players are able to get kills if they don't have crosshair placement. Well, mostly this is kind of like your aim labs rank, to be completely honest. However, I just want to remind you that you don't really need aim labs to be able to practice in Valorant, because if you keep your practice in Valorant, it is always better and it builds up good habits. I'm not saying aim labs is bad, but I'm saying that it's very much not necessary. Okay, nextly, I'd like to talk about something that really is a lot more in depth, however, it's kind of important, and that is positioning. Now, positioning isn't really a huge part of the aim itself, and it mostly goes with game sense. However, it really much does cross into this section. And the reason I'm saying that is because when you're taking a gunfight, you always want to have an escape route, somewhere where you can go, and that makes it very easy for you to take fights and still get value from them, even if you lose the 50-50. On characters like Jett, Chamber, Rip Legend, and Reyna, with your Jett dashes, chamber TPs, and dismisses, it makes it very easy for you to take very aggressive angles and be able to position yourself to get out quickly. Even with characters that don't have that positioning ability, positioning yourself around a corner or something where you can just peek over it is really nice. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is movement. So movement is kind of like a big part of your mechanics, and it's not easy to learn for low elo players and mid elo players. And I think a big part of movement is also, not a very big part, but a part about it is counter-strafing, which I don't think is necessary, and it's usually what comes to mind at first. But to me, it's not very necessary. I'm not saying that it's not good to learn about it and what it is, because honestly, it can really help out, but it's not very needed. So now, nextly, in movement, there's also short peeks, wide peeks, info peeks, but all of that is honestly something that you should just learn from other sources, and these are basically the tenets of aim. So there are basically two methods which can improve these fundamentals. There is the CAR method, which I'm going to be talking about first. The CAR method is an acronym for Calibrate, Apply, and Repeat. Basically, what it entails is you go into the range and then do simple warm-ups like 50 bots while trying to adjust with movement, or using Jett knives and doing micro flicks onto practice bots, at usually an elevation. What you want to do is you want to calibrate your aim for the day, and then you want to go into a deathmatch and do it in your own way. I personally do No Sound Guardian, Sheriff only with sound, and Vandal on Breeze, Icebox, Fracture, and Ascent, and Phantom on Split, Pearl, and Heyman. And this is with sound. Well, you want to repeat this, you want to repeat your calibration and applying it over and over again until you feel your aim is good for the day. This is a really nice method because it teaches you, and it basically lets you be lenient for the day and lets you calibrate and readjust for every single day. Nextly, it's the Miyagi method. Although I'm indifferent about it and I personally don't use it, the Miyagi method really does help. And what it is you do some bots like normal, and then you go into a DM, and then you go Guardian only, and you just want to hold an angle and wait until the enemy peeks. And then you want to see whether or not your crosshair was in the right place. And when they peek, you also want to train yourself to not shoot right away and 100% line up the headshot, so you only reward yourself with a kill if you actually headshot them. This builds good habits of crosshair placement and trigger discipline because it will make it so that you don't freak out if you see someone and take the time to line up the headshot. Okay, this is my guide to low and mid elo aim fundamentals, and if you can learn the basics of all of these, then you will really be golden and be able to climb with aim very quickly. Thanks, I hope you liked this video, and as a reminder, I recommend going on to Pro VODs and seeing how they incorporate these fundamentals into their gameplay. This video was pretty long, and I really hope you liked it. Thank you.